Hey everybody, today we're going to be grinding a bed knife on a Foley 673. So let's take a look. Okay, first thing you want to do is really clean off your bed bar. So I like to take a Scotch-Brite pad and just really wipe it down. And then I also like to just go through and clean out all the bolt holes really good. So we'll get this cleaned up. And then the next thing I like to do is just get some WD-40 and just spray it down. And then we will get our bed knife, and I like to put some anti-seize on the bed knife screws. I'll just get some just like that and use that. And so I'll put some anti-seize on these bed knife screws. I just put them in there loose at first. And then once they're all in, I tighten them in this pattern. I'll tighten the middle one, then here, 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 and so forth, all the way down so that it pulls the knife in evenly. Okay guys, so the first thing you're going to do is you just pull these tabs out like this. Pull your bed knife into these tabs, just like that. And then you engage the magnet. And you should have a little bit of resistance right here as you kind of take these off. And get those out of the way. And then if you'll look here, they have these pins that show, it shows the angle of what you'll be grinding at. So this shows right here I'm going to have a 5-degree top face angle, and then if you look back here I'm going to have a 5-degree front face angle. And so what happens is when we push the button here on the grinder, it'll just move this knife up into place, and once that hits that stop, this knife will be set at 5 degrees top face angle. And so it's hit there, and so we're good on that. Okay, so next thing you want to do is you want to come over to the left side here. I like to make sure I pick the exact same spot on the stone, so I'll put the Foley logo just right up top, and you just feed it in here until you touch off on this left side. And so I'm touching right there, so I just back it off a little so I have a light rub. And then I'll come across this other side, so I'm touching a little bit there in the middle. And I'm not touching here, so I'm going to just grab this knob right here, and I'm going to turn it and pull this into the stone. And it's barely touching there, so very close. I'm a little high in the middle, I can feel, but again, not touching there. So what we're going to do is we'll just back it off a little, because we know our left side and our right side are the same. And I know I'm gonna grind in the middle there right at first. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to move it into my right hand stop, and I'll lock it in. So next thing we're going to do now is I'm going to turn the stone on, and then I will turn the traverse on, and we will slowly start feeding into the stone. It's hitting there in the middle like we thought it would, and then it's missing on the end, so we're a little bit high in the middle. Now that it's come over to this other side, what I can do is stop the traverse and then stop the stone. And this right here is in the auto function, and right here is in the manual function. So what we can do now is I'm going to turn this probably to program 3. It has 5 program levels. Each level has more infeeds. 3's kind of right in the middle there. This is a pretty thick new knife, so we're going to try that and go from there. Alright guys, we just finished grinding the top face and I'm looking at it and everything has been ground. It all looks even. One other thing I did want to mention is this is the Borazon stone, not quite sure how to say it, but this is the best stone Foley makes. So you can grind Edge Max bed knives with this. It runs cooler, so you don't have to run coolant with it. I'd highly recommend upgrading to that stone. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we'll do the front face. We'll just bring it down here. It's going to hit that other stop there on the back side. I have these set at 5 and 5, so this will give me a 5-degree front angle face. It's set in there now. And so we will just back this off. And we'll do the same thing. We'll just touch off on the left side here. I've got just a real light rub. A little too much there, so we'll push this away. Let's see. I'll push it away, and since I pushed it away, I'll probably have to make an adjustment here. I'll bring it in just a little. Much better. Okay, now we're ready to grind the front face. Same thing on this front face. I'm going to start the stone. We'll start the traverse. And then I'll just give it a light infeed. I'm running this in the manual mode right now. Everything sounds good and consistent. So we will stop it there. And I'm going to run this on a program 2 because I don't think I will have to take as much off here. Okay, so this just finished up. I can kind of feel on here. I have just a very, very light burr. So I know I touched all the way across and this bed knife is ready to go. This was all ground on the Foley 673. This partnered with the 653 are great machines.